Giant leeches, pink dolphins, ancient river ghosts. These monsters aren't myths. They're real and they're still out there. Deep in the waters of India's Kali River, something massive lurks beneath the muddy surface. Locals call it a monster. Others just call it the Goonch catfish. It's not just its size that terrifies people, though it can grow longer than 6 feet and weigh over 160 pounds. It's the stories. Stories of something dragging full-grown people underwater, never to return. And those stories didn't stay local for long. Years ago, a British biologist traveled to the region to investigate strange disappearances near the river. What he found shocked him: shredded fishing nets, massive bite marks on livestock pulled to the edge of the water, and villagers too afraid to swim anymore. The focus of the fear: the goonch. It doesn't behave like a normal catfish. This one is a predator. Some say it developed a taste for human flesh after feeding on funeral remains traditionally set afloat on the river. It has the face of a nightmare. Wide, flat, with gaping jaws and rows of teeth that don't seem suited to just nibbling on plants. Its mottled skin blends perfectly with the river floor, letting it hide in plain sight. When it strikes, it doesn't just snatch a meal, it vanishes, leaving behind nothing but a swirl of muddy water. Researchers have captured some of the largest specimens on record here, and the photos are unsettling. Their eyes are dull, lifeless. Their mouths look like underwater traps built for crushing. Theories? Some say it's just an oversized fish. Others believe the Kali River's spiritual energy has mutated the species into something unnatural. A few even whisper about cursed waters, where normal rules of biology don't apply. No one can prove those claims, but the goonch doesn't need legends to be terrifying. It already is. In the dense, tangled wetlands of the Congo Basin, there's one story that never dies. Locals speak of the Mokele Mbembe, a massive, long-necked creature that glides silently through the murky waters of the Likwala and Congo rivers. Descriptions are startlingly consistent. It has a thick body like an elephant's, a long tail like a crocodile's, and a flexible neck that rises out of the water like a periscope. Sound familiar? Many believe it resembles a sauropod dinosaur, a relic from the Jurassic period that somehow escaped extinction. Western explorers first recorded these accounts in the early 20th century, but even today, sightings persist. Some villagers claim to have heard its deep bellowing at night, while others tell of canoes being capsized by something huge and unseen. Several expeditions into the region have failed to find hard evidence, but muddy footprints, broken trees, and ripple patterns have kept the mystery alive. And here's the twist. Researchers have verified that the region is biologically underexplored, meaning new species are still being discovered every year. They say, photographs from the area don't show the creature directly, but they do reveal wide, unusual trails leading into rivers and massive, unidentified nests in swampy clearings. Skeptics argue it's all myth. But if Mokele Mbembe is just a folktale, why do so many eyewitnesses describe the exact same thing? And why are scientists still fascinated enough to go looking? From ancient legends to modern nightmares, now shift your gaze to Japan. In the years after the Fukushima nuclear disaster, something strange began surfacing in the nearby rivers. Fishermen started catching eel-like creatures that looked off. Some were missing eyes, others had translucent skin, visible organs, and twisted asymmetric jaws. Then came the videos, eerie clips showing entire swarms of these creatures writhing near the banks, forming tangled knots before disappearing into the silt. At first, many assumed it was internet hoax bait, but Japanese marine biologists confirmed some of these finds were real. The creatures were likely mutated forms of Japanese river eels or similar freshwater species exposed to radiation or disrupted ecosystems. But the weirdest part? Some specimens didn't match any documented species at all. Their DNA had anomalies with abnormal protein sequences and unexplainable growth patterns. Several were confiscated and studied in controlled labs, and the results weren't released publicly. What makes this even more unsettling is that these mutant swarms seem to return in cycles. Local residents have documented them appearing again during heavy rains or river surges. Images show bizarre, slimy creatures tangled together in what looks more like a horror movie than a nature documentary. Is this nature adapting or something spiraling out of control? In the deepest untouched corners of the Amazon rainforest, locals whisper about a serpent so massive, even full-grown anacondas fear it. They call it Yakumama, or Mother of the Waters. This legendary creature is said to reach lengths of 100 feet or more, with a girth large enough to swallow a canoe whole. But this isn't just a campfire tale. Some researchers believe the myth may stem from sightings of giant anacondas that far exceed the recorded maximum size. Indigenous tribes warn children not to play near certain bends in the river where whirlpools are said to form without warning, caused, they say, by the movement of Yakumama rising from below. Several blurry photographs and drone videos have emerged over the years, showing enormous dark shapes slithering just beneath the surface. Though none have been definitively proven, many are still studied today in cryptozoological circles. And remarkably, some images of real anacondas reaching over 30 feet provide an eerie baseline, suggesting that even larger individuals may exist undetected. What makes Yakumama truly terrifying isn't just its size, but its silence. It moves without a ripple, strikes without a sound, and leaves no survivors. Some believe it's the guardian of the Amazon, punishing those who disrespect the river. Others think it's a prehistoric remnant, a creature that escaped extinction and evolved undisturbed in a world too vast and dark to fully explore. The lamprey is a river-dwelling parasitic fish that looks more like a creature from a sci-fi horror film than something you'd find in freshwater streams. What sets it apart is its circular suction cup jaw lined with concentric rings of razor-sharp teeth. Once attached to a host, usually fish but sometimes even humans, it drills into flesh and drinks blood. And it doesn't let go easily. Lampreys are ancient, predating dinosaurs by hundreds of millions of years. Found in North America, Europe, and parts of Asia, they can grow up to 3 feet long, and while they normally live in rivers, they migrate to lakes or oceans during their life cycle. After a devastating lamprey invasion in the Great Lakes, they were declared a biological threat. But even beyond that, their appearance alone is nightmare fuel. High-resolution images show close-ups of their round, gaping mouths, revealing rows of yellowish teeth spiraling inward like a blender. Their eyeless expression and eel-like bodies make them look like a cross between a leech and an alien. And underwater footage of them swarming and attaching to fish in groups is enough to make even experienced divers uneasy. In the glacial waters of Lake Lagarfljót, eastern Iceland, lurks a creature whispered about for centuries, the Lagarfljót worm. Described as a long, serpentine beast with coiled humps rising above the water, it's said to stretch over 300 feet, dwarfing most known lake creatures. But what makes this monster even more unsettling is that it doesn't stay confined to the lake. It's been seen slithering through river channels that feed into it, vanishing beneath bridges and near farms. The first recorded mention dates back to 1345, when locals described a heathen serpent terrifying nearby villagers. Since then, reports have steadily surfaced, farmers spotting unnatural ripples in calm waters, fishers abandoning boats after glimpses of dark coils sliding beneath them. In recent years, a video surfaced showing a massive, twisting shape writhing beneath the ice, moving with purpose, not drifting like a log or debris. The footage left viewers disturbed and divided. Was it a hoax or something very real just beneath the surface? Over the years, depictions of the creature have emerged, showing a dragon-like form with jagged ridges and pale, reflective eyes. Some Icelanders believe the worm was born from a cursed treasure tossed into the lake, growing larger and angrier with each passing year. Others suggest it may be a relic from a prehistoric age, surviving in the remote, frigid ecosystem long after extinction should have claimed it. Whether spirit, serpent, or something stranger, the Lagarfljót worm holds tight to its mystery, and it's still said to stir beneath the cold northern waters waiting to be seen again. In the murky waters of Lake Tanganyika and the Rusizi River in Burundi, lives a monster so real and so deadly it puts most legends to shame. Locals call him Gustav, a massive Nile crocodile estimated to be over 20 feet long and weighing close to 2,000 pounds. But it's not just his size that earned him infamy, it's the body count. Some believe Gustav has killed and eaten over 300 people along the riverbanks, dragging victims from the shallows in broad daylight and vanishing without a trace. Gustav was first brought to international attention in the early 2000s when a team of scientists and filmmakers attempted to capture him. Despite using traps, bait, and even live goats, the crocodile was never caught. In footage shot during that time, Gustav appears with bullets lodged in his armored body, a torn tail, and deep scars across his snout, signs of a creature that's not only enormous but seemingly indestructible. Witnesses describe him as the demon of the river, moving with deliberate slowness without fear of boats or people. He doesn't hunt like other crocodiles. Gustav doesn't wait, he charges. Some believe he kills for dominance, not just hunger, marking his territory with terror. Entire villages have altered daily routines around the river to avoid his favorite hunting zones. The ripple of his movement across the surface is enough to clear an entire bank of people. Despite years of sightings and close encounters, Gustav has never been captured or confirmed dead. Some say he's still alive, others believe he's a spirit now, part of the river's legacy. But in Burundi, every splash in the water still draws glances, and fear that Gustav may be back. The Chinese paddlefish, once a ruler of the Yangtze River, was an ancient leviathan that stretched up to 23 feet in length and glided through the water like a ghost. With its long, sword-like snout and smooth, scaleless body, it looked more like something out of a prehistoric ocean than a freshwater river. For centuries it was rarely seen, only occasionally caught in fishing nets or glimpsed near the surface during certain seasons. And then, suddenly, it vanished. In 2020, scientists declared the species officially extinct after exhaustive surveys found no living specimens. But not everyone was convinced. Just a few years later, in 2023, fishermen released footage of a long silver shape darting beneath a bridge in the upper Yangtze. The snout, the size, the movement. Everything about it resembled the paddlefish once thought lost forever. The video, though grainy, reignited debates online and among biologists. Was it a misidentified sturgeon, or did one of the last giants survive in silence? This wasn't just any fish. The Chinese paddlefish had been around for more than 200 million years, outliving dinosaurs and ice ages, only to disappear under the pressure of dam construction, pollution, and overfishing. But rivers are vast, and the Yangtze, though damaged, still holds secrets in its depths. Eyewitnesses report seeing enormous shadows slipping beneath boats, too fast to catch, too strange to identify. Some believe the paddlefish still exists, hidden in pockets of deep, dark water where few humans go, a living fossil that refused to die. If true, it would be one of the greatest rediscoveries in history, and until every stretch of the Yangtze is explored, its legend remains very much alive. In 1924, the quiet shores of Margate, South Africa, were shaken by a creature so strange, it defied everything people thought they knew about the ocean, and the rivers that feed into it. Witnesses described a massive, pale creature, covered in white fur, with a long trunk-like snout, no visible eyes, and a body more like a polar bear than any sea animal. It washed up where the Margate River meets the Indian Ocean, and for 10 long days, it lay on the beach. But no scientist ever came to study it. Locals were stunned. It was the size of a whale, but unlike any whale known to science. It had no fins, no flippers, no recognizable bones, just a mound of flesh and coarse white hair that gave it the nickname Trunco. Reports said it had previously fought off 2 killer whales offshore using its tail like a battering ram. That story might sound exaggerated until you realize that dozens of eyewitnesses claim to have seen the exact same thing. Then, just as mysteriously as it arrived, Trunco vanished. The tides reclaimed the corpse, and with it, any chance of modern examination. Experts have debated whether it was a decomposing whale or some unknown species, but the image only deepened the mystery. What kind of river-connected creature ends up looking like that? How could something that size go undocumented for so long? Was Trunco a biological anomaly, or something far older and stranger than we're willing to admit? Deep within the rain-soaked jungles of Indonesia, a rarely seen and deeply unsettling creature slithers through the mud, the giant red leech, one of the largest leech species on Earth. Stretching up to 20 inches in length, this blood-red parasite looks more like something from a prehistoric age than a modern swamp dweller. With its slimy, segmented body and muscular grip, it glides silently through riverbanks and leaf litter searching for prey. Unlike most leeches that latch onto fish or amphibians, the giant Indonesian leech has a more elusive target, the earthworm. But not just any earthworm, massive, burrowing species that live deep underground. The leech uses its powerful, extendable throat to stretch out and swallow prey whole, pulling them in inch by inch like a living vacuum hose. The sight is unsettling, no eyes, no face, just a gaping tubular mouth and a body built for engulfing. It lives in remote highland rainforests, where few people ever cross its path. But when it does emerge, usually after heavy rains, it leaves behind slimy trails and shallow burrows that puzzle those unfamiliar with its existence. Its appearance, size, and alien movement have led to countless mistaken sightings, often fueling tales of river monsters or parasitic beasts. Despite its fearsome look, the giant leech poses no threat to humans. But its very presence, so large, so strange, reminds us how many secrets still linger in the world's jungles, and how evolution, left undisturbed, can create creatures that seem to defy everything we know. Beneath the muddy waters of the Amazon swims a creature both beautiful and bizarre, the Amazon River dolphin, known locally as the boto. Unlike its ocean cousins, this dolphin is pale pink in color with a long, narrow snout, small eyes, and a flexible neck that allows it to twist and turn like a snake. It looks almost unreal, as if carved from wax or conjured from legend, and in the Amazon, that's exactly what many believe. For centuries, the boto has been wrapped in mystery. Indigenous tribes tell stories of these dolphins transforming into handsome men at night, walking on land dressed in white, seducing women, and then returning to the river by morning. The creature is so feared in some areas that villagers avoid swimming at dusk, terrified of being dragged under by a boto seeking revenge or romance. Its otherworldly appearance only fuels the myth, especially the way it seems to glow pink under certain light. But even outside of legend, the Amazon River dolphin defies expectation. It can navigate pitch-black waters using sonar so precise, it avoids roots and logs in dense flooded forests. It communicates with a complex series of whistles, clicks, and pulses, and it's intelligent, uncannily so. Some researchers have observed behaviors suggesting problem-solving, emotion, and even interaction with humans that goes beyond curiosity. The dolphin's coloring, which can deepen from pale gray to vibrant pink depending on age, blood flow, and mood, adds to its haunting beauty. And while many write it off as just a quirky freshwater mammal, locals know better. To them, the boto isn't just a dolphin, it's a river spirit, a shapeshifter, a mystery that blurs the line between nature and myth, swimming silently through waters science hasn't fully explored. In a remote swamp in Indonesia, villagers filmed what looked like a massive leech-like creature surrounded by thousands of smaller ones, writhing and pulsing at the river's edge. The central beast, at least 20 feet long, had a gaping mouth lined with teeth, nothing like known leech species. Biologists suggested a rare mass-spawning event or unknown parasitic mutation, but no official explanation followed. The footage remains unexplained. In the cold, silty depths of British Columbia's Fraser River lives a creature older than most civilizations, the white sturgeon. Reaching lengths of over 20 feet and weighing up to 1,800 pounds, these massive, armored fish look like relics from the dinosaur age. With their bony, plated backs, ghostly pale skin, and vacant, prehistoric eyes, they appear less like river fish and more like river monsters. Local anglers call them ghosts, not only for their eerie appearance but for their near-mythic ability to vanish into deep, unseen trenches of the river without a sound. They move slowly, yet powerfully, impossible to predict and rarely spotted near the surface. Some have lived for over 150 years, making them silent witnesses to a changing world, and yet despite decades of study they remain elusive. There are stories, told by fishermen and passed down for generations, of impossibly large sturgeon breaching the water like whales, flipping boats, or dragging lines until they snap. These stories were often dismissed as exaggeration, until several verified catches in recent decades revealed specimens longer than pickup trucks, still alive and thriving. Even now, experts believe there could be larger, undocumented sturgeon hiding in river bends too deep for sonar to penetrate. What makes the Fraser River sturgeon so haunting isn't just their size, it's their silence. They leave no wake, no warning, just an occasional ripple, a massive shadow beneath the water, or a splash that seems too big to make sense. They are ancient, patient, and entirely real. While other monsters are still debated, the white sturgeon is already here, waiting in the depths. In the steamy jungles of the Amazon basin, buried beneath riverbeds and muddy creeks, slithers a creature so bizarre it stunned scientists the first time it was found. This creature is neither a snake nor an eel, but a massive, eyeless amphibian related to salamanders. It can grow over 2 feet long, has no eyes, no lungs, and a head shaped disturbingly like human anatomy. Discovered again in 2011 after being thought extinct, it was found when a dam project forced several river channels to dry out, revealing specimens that had remained hidden underground for who knows how long. Unlike other amphibians, Atretokoana breathes entirely through its skin, an adaptation that allows it to survive in oxygen-poor, murky water. Its movements are slow and deliberate, and it glides like a thick ribbon through shallow mud, rarely surfacing. Its body is slick, grayish-purple, and smooth like wet rubber. Its head has nostril-like openings but no visible eyes or ears, and its strange shape has only added to its notoriety. Scientists still don't fully understand its behavior, diet, or how it breeds. It's a reminder that the Amazon isn't just home to fierce predators, it hides creatures that are completely alien right beneath the surface. While most animals blend into their environment, this one stands out, horribly, unforgettably. And though it's not aggressive, there's something deeply unsettling about a creature so primitive, so hidden, and so unlike anything else in the river world. It shouldn't exist, but it does. At the border of China and North Korea lies Lake Tianqi, a crater lake nestled inside a dormant volcano. The place is already eerie high-altitude mist, biting cold and an unnatural stillness. But it's what's beneath the surface that has fascinated and frightened for decades. Locals believe the lake hides a massive aquatic beast, known as the Lake Tianqi Monster, China's chilling counterpart to Scotland's Loch Ness legend. Sightings have been recorded for over a century. Descriptions vary, but most mention a dark, serpentine creature with smooth skin, a long neck, and horn-like protrusions on its head. In 2007, a group of tourists claimed to see multiple creatures swimming together in formation, creating wakes far too large for fish. Soldiers stationed near the lake have also reported strange movements and unexplainable splashes, always from the lake's deepest parts. Despite multiple expeditions and modern equipment, nothing conclusive has been captured. The water is deep, dark, and extremely cold, making exploration dangerous and limited. Still, the sightings continue. The creature is often described as appearing during changes in weather, especially storms or snowfall, almost like it responds to atmospheric shifts. Whatever it is, it's fast, massive, and elusive. Whether it's a surviving prehistoric reptile, an undiscovered species, or something entirely beyond science, the Lake Tianqi Monster remains one of Asia's greatest unsolved mysteries. In a world increasingly explained by technology and logic, this silent, shape-shifting shadow at the top of the world dares us to admit, we don't know everything yet. Beneath the murky waters of the Amazon lurks a true river terror, the black piranha. This is no ordinary fish. It's the most dangerous piranha in the world, a ruthless hunter with the strongest bite of any animal for its size. Armed with razor-sharp teeth, a jaw built for destruction, and an aggressive territorial nature, it's the undisputed menace of the jungle waters. This isn't just a legend, it's a predator feared by everything around it. And now, you're about to find out why. There's a reason the black piranha's bite is legendary. It's not just the sharpness of its teeth, it's the sheer crushing power behind them. Scientists studying piranha bite force have discovered something shocking. Pound for pound, this fish has the strongest bite of any living creature, even stronger than a great white shark, a crocodile, or a jaguar. A black piranha weighing just a few pounds can generate a force of nearly 70 pounds per square inch, enough to crush bone with a single snap. That's like slamming a hammer down with full force, but from a fish the size of a dinner plate. The secret lies in its massive jaw muscles, which make up almost half its head, giving it a mechanical advantage far beyond what you'd expect from a fish this size. Unlike most fish that rely on speed, numbers, or stealth to catch prey, the black piranha only needs one precise, devastating chomp. Flesh, bone, cartilage, none of it stands a chance. One bite is all it takes. But raw power isn't the only reason the black piranha's bite is so feared. The true horror lies in its teeth. Each one is a perfect curved blade, serrated like a mini chainsaw and designed to slice through flesh with surgical precision. When a piranha bites, it's not just crushing, it's shearing straight through, leaving nothing but a gaping wound in its wake. And here's the real nightmare: their teeth never stop growing. While most fish replace individual teeth over time, piranhas do it differently. They shed and regrow an entire row of teeth all at once, ensuring their bite is always at peak lethality. If a tooth breaks, a whole new row immediately moves forward, sharper than before. This unique adaptation keeps their bite deadly at all times with no weak spots or worn edges. In the wild, even when they're not hunting, piranhas gnaw on wood and bone just to keep their teeth in top shape, like a blade being sharpened constantly. It's nature's perfect cutting tool, and it never dulls. Can a piranha bite through steel? With razor-sharp, ever-growing teeth and bone-crushing force, it's no wonder people believe piranhas can bite through steel. But how true is it? While a piranha's bite won't slice clean through a metal rod, they can easily tear through softer metals like aluminum, and there are documented cases of piranhas biting through thick fishing hooks and wire traps as if they were nothing. Fishermen in the Amazon report that even their metal boat paddles sometimes come back with deep gouges from curious or aggressive piranhas. In some experiments, piranhas have even been observed biting through thin sheets of tin, proving that their bite is far stronger than many expect. But the real horror isn't whether they can chew through steel, it's how easily they can slice through flesh and bone. A single piranha could take off a fingertip in a fraction of a second, while a feeding school can strip an animal to the bone in minutes. And that's where things get truly terrifying. What happens when an entire swarm attacks at once? A single black piranha is a powerful predator, but a swarm of them? That's where the nightmare begins. When these fish attack in numbers, the river transforms into a churning mass of snapping jaws, and whatever is caught in it doesn't stand a chance. It all happens in seconds. The first bite is all it takes. The moment one piranha sinks its teeth into prey, it releases signals into the water, chemical cues that trigger an instant reaction from the rest of the school. What follows is a blur of flashing teeth, flesh being torn away in chunks, and a frenzy so fast that the water itself seems to boil. Large animals like capybaras, caimans, or even jaguars that make the mistake of wading into the wrong waters can be stripped to bone in minutes. And the worst part? The victim is often still alive when it happens. Piranhas don't wait for their prey to die. They attack with terrifying precision, targeting muscle, soft tissue, and organs first, leaving the hardest parts for last. But what makes this coordinated assault possible? How do they sense weakness with such deadly accuracy? The answer lies in something invisible but incredibly powerful: their ability to detect blood. Piranhas don't need to see their prey. They don't need to hear it. They can smell its fear. Their sense of smell is so advanced that they can detect a single drop of blood in thousands of gallons of water. But it's not just blood that triggers them. These fish can sense subtle chemical changes in the water, the stress hormones released by injured or panicked creatures. This ability makes them one of the most efficient scavengers in the wild, zeroing in on dying fish, wounded animals, or anything struggling to stay afloat. Even the vibrations of a struggling fish send signals that piranhas can detect from far away. In the Amazon, locals believe that even urinating in the water can attract piranhas, since they associate certain chemical compounds with injury or weakness. And while they won't attack healthy humans for no reason, anyone with an open wound, a fresh cut, or even just a nosebleed in piranha-infested waters is taking a serious risk. But their ability to sense prey isn't their only hidden weapon. Piranhas don't just attack as a wild, mindless swarm. They coordinate, communicate, and hunt with eerie precision. The piranha's secret weapon. A piranha's greatest weapon isn't just its bite, it's its intelligence. These aren't mindless killers acting on instinct alone. Piranhas are highly social predators, and they have a secret advantage most people don't know about. They talk to each other. Not with words, of course, but with sound, body language, and even vibrations in the water. Scientists have discovered that piranhas use different voices for different situations. When they sense danger, they produce rapid clicking sounds, warning the rest of the school to stay alert. When they're preparing to attack, they make deep, low grunts, signaling to others that the hunt is on. And when two piranhas challenge each other over food, territory, or dominance, they create a loud, drum-like vibration in the water, almost like a war cry. This communication makes them one of the most synchronized predators in any freshwater ecosystem. They don't just swarm randomly, they coordinate their movements, focus their attacks, and overwhelm prey with terrifying efficiency. But this ability doesn't just help them hunt, it also plays a role in one of the most shocking aspects of their nature. Because when food is scarce and desperation sets in, piranhas turn on their own. Do piranhas eat each other? Piranhas may be ruthless hunters, but their most chilling trait is what happens when food runs out. They eat each other. It's not just an occasional fight over food, cannibalism is built into their survival strategy. When prey is scarce, the strongest piranhas turn on the weaker ones, tearing into them with the same precision they use on any other victim. In the wild, this happens most often in the dry season. When water levels drop, prey becomes harder to find, and thousands of piranhas are suddenly trapped together in shrinking pools. At first they pick off injured or sick members of their own school, but as hunger grows, the frenzy escalates, and the weak are devoured. Even in captivity, when piranhas are underfed, larger individuals have been observed biting chunks out of their tank mates, sometimes killing them outright. This brutal self-regulation ensures that only the fittest survive. But what happens when the water keeps disappearing? How do they endure when their home turns into little more than a muddy, oxygen-starved pool? Surviving a drought. When the Amazon dries up, many fish perish in the heat, but not piranhas. They have evolved to withstand extreme conditions that would kill most other creatures. As rivers shrink, piranhas become more aggressive, more desperate, and more willing to eat anything, including their own kind. But their survival instincts go even further. Piranhas can slow their metabolism, allowing them to survive in stagnant, low-oxygen water for long periods. Some even burrow into the mud, remaining hidden until the rains return. Fishermen in drought-stricken regions have reported digging into dry riverbeds only to find live piranhas buried beneath the surface, waiting for water to return. This remarkable ability makes them one of the most resilient predators in freshwater ecosystems. They don't just survive harsh conditions, they thrive in them. But what about the most feared scenario? What if someone ends up in the water during a bad season, when piranhas are starving and on edge? Do piranhas attack humans? Piranhas have a terrifying reputation, but how much of it is real? The truth is, piranhas don't typically hunt humans, but that doesn't mean they're harmless. Most of the time, people swimming near piranhas go completely unnoticed. They're far more likely to flee than fight, but under the wrong conditions, they will attack. The most dangerous times are during the dry season, when food is scarce, and during breeding season, when piranhas become extremely territorial. There have been documented cases of people being bitten after disturbing piranha nests, stepping into the wrong waters, or entering a school of frenzied, starving fish. The bites are fast, surgical, and incredibly painful, often leaving deep, clean wounds that bleed heavily. While fatal attacks are rare, they have happened, especially to children or injured individuals unable to escape the water quickly. The horror stories of people being stripped to the bone in seconds, that only happens if the person is already dead or dying when the piranhas arrive. But the fact remains, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you will get bitten. And these aggressive instincts didn't develop overnight. They have been sharpened over millions of years of evolution, turning piranhas into one of nature's most efficient killing machines. How did piranhas become so dangerous? Piranhas didn't become ruthless predators overnight. Their abilities have been shaped by millions of years of brutal survival. Their ancestors date back over 25 million years, to a time when prehistoric rivers were filled with giant, terrifying creatures. The ancient megapiranha, which lived around 8 million years ago, was nearly 3 feet long, twice the size of modern piranhas, and had a bite force that could crush bone in an instant. Fossil evidence suggests these ancient piranhas weren't just scavengers or opportunistic hunters. They were apex predators in their own right. Over time, their descendants became smaller, faster, and even deadlier, evolving their razor-sharp teeth, bone-crushing jaws, and swarm tactics that make them so feared today. One of the biggest evolutionary advantages piranhas developed is their perfectly designed teeth. Unlike most fish, whose teeth wear down over time, piranhas evolved a system where entire rows of teeth are replaced all at once, ensuring their bite is always at peak efficiency. This means they never go dull, never lose their cutting power, and never stop being a threat. Their extraordinary metabolism and ability to survive in extreme conditions also evolved out of necessity. Living in flood-prone, ever-changing river systems, they had to adapt to survive both feast and famine. This led to their ability to slow their metabolism, endure low-oxygen waters, and even resort to cannibalism when food is scarce. You've seen the deadly side of piranhas, but that's only half the story. These creatures are full of surprises, from vegetarian species to their role in the ecosystem and tribes of South America. Ready for the wildest piranha facts? The vegetarian species. Not all piranhas are flesh-eating predators. Some are completely herbivorous, feeding only on plants. One of the most fascinating examples is the Tometes camunani, a piranha species that doesn't hunt but instead grazes on river vegetation. Found in the rocky rapids of the Amazon, this species relies on aquatic plants, algae, and seeds as its main food source. Its broad, flat teeth are perfectly adapted for grinding tough plant matter instead of tearing into flesh. This might seem unusual for a species so closely related to one of the most feared carnivores, but it actually plays an important role in the ecosystem, helping control overgrown aquatic vegetation and maintaining balance in the rivers. Even more surprising is that some omnivorous piranhas, like the famous red-bellied piranha, also incorporate fruits, nuts, and seeds into their diet. During certain seasons, they are seen feeding on fallen tree fruits, proving that their diet is more flexible than many believe. Scientists have even observed piranhas acting as seed dispersers, unintentionally spreading plant life as they move through the water. This ability to adapt to available food sources is one of the reasons piranhas have thrived for millions of years. While their razor-sharp teeth are built for slicing through flesh, some species have evolved to use them in completely different ways. But it's not just their diets that are surprising. Some piranhas are also shockingly beautiful. When people think of piranhas, they usually imagine dark, menacing fish lurking in murky waters. But in reality, some piranha species are unexpectedly stunning, featuring brilliant metallic hues, fiery reds, and even golden scales that shimmer in the sunlight. One of the most visually striking species is the ruby-red Pygocentris cariba, which has an intensely bright red belly contrasting against its sleek silver body. Another standout is the golden piranha, whose scales sparkle like liquid gold, giving it an almost surreal appearance. Even the feared red-bellied piranha has a beautiful side. Its deep crimson underside and silver-flecked body catch the light in mesmerizing ways, making it a favorite among aquarium enthusiasts. But these vivid colors aren't just for show. They serve important survival functions. Some piranhas use their coloration to attract mates, with males developing deeper reds and oranges during the breeding season. Others use their colors for camouflage, blending with the shimmering water to avoid predators. This makes piranhas not only deadly predators, but also unexpectedly beautiful creatures with an evolutionary edge. Piranhas may have a fearsome reputation, but they're also smart, social, and highly strategic. Unlike many fish that simply follow instincts, piranhas communicate with each other using body movements and even low-frequency sounds. Scientists have recorded them making grunts, barks, and drum-like noises to warn others about predators, defend territory, or even establish dominance in a group. They also display complex problem-solving skills, using coordinated movements to herd prey or protect their young. In the wild, they often avoid unnecessary fights, choosing to intimidate rivals with posturing and sound rather than wasting energy in direct combat. In captivity, they quickly learn to recognize their owners, displaying excitement when it's feeding time. These aren't just mindless killers. They're highly aware, calculated, and far more intelligent than most people think. But despite their cleverness, even piranhas have to watch their backs, because in the wild, plenty of creatures are hunting them. Piranhas may be great hunters, but they are far from invincible. In the Amazon, where predators lurk at every turn, piranhas are often the hunted, rather than the hunters. One of their most dangerous enemies is the black caiman, a massive reptile that patrols the same waters, capable of swallowing entire schools of piranhas in a single feeding session. Amazon river dolphins, or botos, are also skilled piranha hunters, using their agility and strong jaws to snap them up with ease. Even some larger fish, like the peacock bass, won't hesitate to devour smaller piranhas when given the chance. But their biggest threat comes from above. Birds like herons and cormorants swoop down and snatch them right out of the water. Despite their sharp teeth and aggressive nature, piranhas have little defense against these skilled hunters. Their best survival tactic is speed and numbers. By staying in groups, they reduce the chances of being singled out. Some species have even been observed staying close to larger fish or hiding in aquatic plants to avoid detection. But even in the wild, their biggest predator is often humans. Many fish enthusiasts are fascinated by piranhas, drawn to their reputation as fierce predators. But keeping a piranha in an aquarium is not as easy as it sounds. These fish require large tanks, proper filtration, and carefully controlled water conditions to thrive. They are also highly territorial. Putting more than one in a confined space can lead to violent fights, even cannibalism. While young piranhas may seem timid, as they grow, they become more aggressive and unpredictable, making them difficult for inexperienced fish keepers to handle. Some species, like the red-bellied piranha, are legal to own in certain states, but many places ban them outright due to concerns about them being released into the wild. In fact, escaped or abandoned piranhas have been found in rivers, lakes, and ponds far outside their native habitat, where they can become an invasive threat to local ecosystems. Despite their challenges, piranhas remain a popular attraction in public aquariums, where they can be observed up close without the risk of missing fingers. It may surprise some, but in many parts of South America, piranhas are a common food source. Local fishermen catch them by the hundreds, serving them fried, grilled, or cooked into soups and stews. The taste? Most describe piranha meat as mild, flaky, and slightly sweet, similar to tilapia or perch. Despite their menacing appearance, their flesh is tender and flavorful, making them a sought-after dish in riverside communities. One of the most famous piranha-based dishes is piranha broth, believed by some Amazonian locals to have aphrodisiac properties. Others claim that eating piranha gives a person strength and stamina, an idea rooted in ancient folklore. However, catching and cooking them comes with its own risks. Their razor-sharp teeth remain dangerous even after death, and fishermen must be careful while handling them. Despite their role as both predator and prey, piranhas serve an even bigger purpose in their ecosystem, one that keeps their entire habitat in balance. Piranhas aren't just predators, they are key players in maintaining the health of their environment. As scavengers, they quickly consume sick, injured, or dead animals, preventing disease from spreading in the water. This makes them nature's cleanup crew, keeping rivers from becoming overrun with decaying matter. They also help control fish populations, ensuring that no single species dominates the ecosystem. But their role doesn't stop there. Some piranhas, especially omnivorous species, feed on fruits and seeds, unintentionally spreading plant life as they move through the water. This helps keep river vegetation diverse and thriving. Their presence also influences the behavior of other fish, forcing prey species to stay alert, move efficiently, and avoid overgrazing aquatic plants. Without piranhas, the Amazon's ecosystem would be less stable, more overrun with disease, and even out of balance. Though feared, these fish are crucial to the survival of the rivers they call home. For centuries, Amazonian tribes have respected and feared piranhas, seeing them as symbols of strength, danger, and survival. Some tribes use piranha teeth as tools, crafting them into knives, arrow tips, and even scissors due to their razor-sharp edges. Fishermen sometimes wear piranha jawbones as necklaces, believing they bring protection and hunting success. In certain rituals, warriors prove their courage by placing their hands in piranha-infested waters, trusting their ancestors to protect them. Some myths even claim that spirits of the river take the form of piranhas, punishing those who disrespect nature. Piranhas aren't just feared, they are also respected as powerful creatures that demand caution. Whether as weapons, symbols, or legends, these fish have woven themselves into the history and beliefs of Amazonian cultures, proving that their influence extends far beyond the river. Piranhas are native to South America, but over the years they have been spotted in places they don't belong, from rivers in the United States to lakes in Asia and Europe. But how did they get there? The answer is humans. Many piranhas have been introduced to foreign waters by exotic pet owners who release them once they become too aggressive or difficult to care for. Some were also accidentally transported through illegal wildlife trade, ending up in ecosystems far from their natural habitat. In some areas, piranhas failed to survive harsh winters, but in warmer climates they have thrived, disrupting local fish populations. Reports of piranhas in lakes and reservoirs in China, Bangladesh, and even Texas have raised concerns about them becoming invasive predators, competing with native species for food. While most isolated sightings don't lead to long-term infestations, experts warn that climate change could allow piranhas to expand into new territories. For now, piranhas remain Amazonian icons, but if they continue to spread, they could become an unexpected predator in waters far beyond South America. Picture this. You're standing by a river deep in the Amazon. The jungle hums with life, but suddenly everything goes silent. The water ripples, and an enormous shadow glides beneath the surface. Locals would tell you this is the Yakumama, the mother of the waters. Legend says this massive serpent over 100 feet long guards the rivers, punishing anyone who disrupts the jungle's balance. Its glowing eyes and tree-trunk-thick body make it a creature of both wonder and terror. Fishermen speak of boats disappearing, dragged into the depths by something too large to comprehend. Tracks along riverbanks and strange disturbances in the water add fuel to the legend. The Amazon is full of secrets, and the Yakumama could be one of them. Is it a cryptid, a guardian spirit, or a symbol of the wild, untamed power of this ancient place? One thing's certain, where the rivers flow, Mysteries like this are always waiting. The Amazon isn't just home to mysteries on the ground. It's said the skies hold their own secrets. For centuries, local tribes have told stories of the sky serpents, enormous creatures that glide through the air, blending with the clouds or vanishing into the night sky. These beings are said to be guardians, messengers, or even punishers, depending on who you ask. But are they just myth, or could they be something more? Eyewitness accounts describe massive snake-like forms illuminated by flashes of lightning, their scales shimmering as they twist through stormy skies. Farmers claim to have seen them slither through the clouds, and some blame strange animal disappearances on these airborne predators. What's even stranger? Recent footage from the region shows unexplained aerial phenomena, elongated glowing objects streaking silently across the sky. Could these stories hint at undiscovered creatures, or are they evidence of something extraterrestrial? In a place as vast and untamed as the Amazon, the lines between legend and reality blur. Here the sky itself seems alive, watching and waiting to reveal its secret. Deep in the muddy waters of an uncharted Amazon stream, explorers stumbled upon this creature, part reptile, part something else entirely. Its piercing yellow eyes seem almost intelligent, and its scaled, vine-like body blends seamlessly with its surroundings. Dubbed the River Stalker, it was uncovered purely by accident, leaving scientists and locals stunned. Could it be a missing link, a relic of a forgotten era, or perhaps something entirely new? The Amazon has lots of secrets and hiding creatures yet to be named, and this is just the beginning. Stay tuned for even more discoveries ahead. Hidden beneath the dense Amazon canopy lies something extraordinary. Enormous geometric patterns etched into the earth, known as geoglyphs. Spanning hundreds of feet, these formations include perfect circles, squares, and intricate designs that can only be appreciated from the air. For centuries, the jungle shielded these ancient creations, keeping them hidden until deforestation revealed their presence. The mystery deepens with questions. Who made them? How were they crafted with such precision? Archaeologists suggest they may be thousands of years old, remnants of an advanced civilization. Some believe they were ceremonial spaces, while others think they served as astronomical calendars or even messages to the gods. The local tribes speak of these patterns with reverence, claiming they were made by beings who lived in harmony with the jungle. What's most chilling? Despite these theories, the purpose of these geoglyphs remains unknown, leaving us to wonder what other secrets the rainforest is hiding. And as we move deeper into the Amazon's past, the discoveries grow even grander. Imagine cities thriving in the heart of the Amazon thousands of years ago, with sprawling plazas, complex road networks, and advanced water systems. For years, such tales were dismissed as myths, until now. Using advanced LiDAR technology, researchers have uncovered the remnants of vast settlements buried beneath the jungle. These aren't just small villages, we're talking cities that rivaled ancient Rome in scale and sophistication. Archaeologists have found signs of terraced farming, massive fortifications, and ceremonial centers, evidence of a civilization that thrived long before European explorers arrived. Known as the Amazonian Atlantis by some, these lost cities rewrite everything we thought we knew about the region. How did these civilizations vanish? Were they overtaken by nature, or did they leave intentionally, leaving only whispers behind? The dense jungle reclaimed their glory, keeping their secrets for centuries until now. And yet, as incredible as these ancient cities are, the Amazon holds even more natural wonders. One of them lies in its very rivers. Deep in the heart of the rainforest flows a river like no other, a river that boils. Yes, you heard that right. Known as Shnei Timpishka, or boiled with the heat of the sun, this river reaches temperatures of up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, enough to scald skin and even cook small animals. But here's the strangest part. This river isn't near any known volcanic activity, so how does it reach such extreme temperatures? Scientists believe geothermal forces deep beneath the earth may be heating the water, but no definitive explanation exists. To locals, however, this river is sacred. They tell stories of its healing powers and of spirits that guard its steaming waters. The mist rising from the river creates an otherworldly atmosphere, making it feel like stepping into another realm. From the mystical patterns in the soil to ancient lost civilizations and now a river-defying explanation, the Amazon continues to amaze and mystify, but hold on tight, our next discovery takes us into the realm of winged legends. The Amazon is a land of giants, and its legends extend even to its smallest creatures. Deep within its shadowy forests, explorers have encountered vampire bats of extraordinary size. Known scientifically as Desmodus draculae, these bats are thought to be extinct, yet locals tell stories that suggest otherwise, with wingspans reaching nearly 3 feet and razor-sharp teeth capable of puncturing tough hide. These creatures are said to stalk livestock and occasionally humans. Farmers whisper of eerie encounters, the sound of leathery wings in the night, cattle found drained of blood, and fleeting shadows larger than any bat should be. Fossil evidence shows these creatures existed thousands of years ago, but could they still lurk in the hidden corners of the jungle? Whether living fossils or exaggerations, one thing is certain: the Amazon's nocturnal skies are as mysterious as its rivers. Speaking of rivers, let's dive into one of the most enigmatic inhabitants beneath their surfaces. Beneath the murky waters of the Amazon, a graceful, almost otherworldly creature swims, the pink river dolphin. These animals are beautiful yet shrouded in legend. Local folklore tells of the Boto, a dolphin that transforms into a handsome man under the moonlight. According to the tales, these shapeshifters venture onto land to enchant humans, often leaving a trail of mystery and broken hearts behind. While the stories may seem far-fetched, the pink river dolphin is undeniably extraordinary. Its striking color and intelligence make it stand out, but scientists are still puzzled by some of its behaviors. They navigate dark, winding waterways with a sonar system so precise it feels like magic. Are these legends a way of explaining the dolphin's unusual traits, or is there more to their story? Either way, the Amazon is a place where the boundaries between myth and reality blur. And just as these dolphins leave their mark on folklore, so too does something far stranger on the trees of the forest. Venture deep into the untouched regions of the Amazon, and you might stumble upon something that defies explanation. Perfectly symmetrical, glowing markings etched into the bark of ancient trees. These symbols, often arranged in intricate patterns, have baffled both scientists and locals for years. They don't match any known tool or natural phenomenon. Some claim they're the work of ancient civilizations, while others suggest something more otherworldly. Theories abound. Could they be territorial markings from an undiscovered species, or are they signs of extraterrestrial visitors, as some conspiracy theorists argue? Locals have their own explanations, calling them the trails of the sky spirits. Whatever their origin, the markings radiate an eerie energy, almost as if the forest itself is alive and trying to communicate. From creatures of legend to the unexplained phenomena around us, the Amazon never ceases to mystify. And now, let's turn to one of the most iconic and powerful creatures of the jungle, one that has inspired gods and myths alike. In the depths of the Amazon, where sunlight barely penetrates the dense foliage, whispers speak of a creature that is more than an animal. It is a god. The jaguar, sleek and powerful, is revered by many indigenous tribes as a guardian of the jungle and a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. But there are stories of jaguars that defy explanation, creatures larger than any recorded, with glowing eyes that pierce through the night, and an intelligence that feels almost human. These jaguar gods are said to protect sacred places, appearing only to those who dare to trespass. Some explorers have claimed to see them, massive shadowy forms that vanish without a sound. Could these be ancient guardians, remnants of forgotten beliefs, or simply exaggerations born of fear? In the Amazon, where myth and reality intertwine, the line is never clear. And as we move from creatures of legend to the human mysteries of the jungle, the story grows even stranger. Deep in the uncharted regions of the Amazon, far beyond the reach of modern maps, lies a tribe shrouded in secrecy. Known as the Phantom Tribe, they are said to exist in perfect harmony with the jungle, leaving no trace of their presence. Hunters and explorers have reported fleeting glimpses, footprints in the mud that vanish into thin air, distant figures disappearing into the trees. Some claim the tribe possesses knowledge of the forest so profound it borders on the supernatural. Local legends describe them as protectors of the Amazon, using their deep understanding of the land to ward off outsiders. Yet no definitive proof of their existence has ever been found. Are they real, or simply a manifestation of humanity's yearning for untouched mystery? The possibility lingers, as does the question: what secrets could they be guarding? Perhaps the answer lies in the ancient stones scattered across the forest floor. Scattered across the jungle are perfectly round stone spheres, some as small as a basketball and others towering over the height of a person. Their smooth, precise shapes have baffled archaeologists for decades. How were they made, and more importantly, why? Found in clusters, these mysterious artifacts seem to have been carefully placed, yet their purpose remains an enigma. Some speculate they were symbols of power or used in rituals by ancient civilizations. Others suggest they could have been early astronomical tools, aligning with the stars to mark important events. What's most unsettling is their apparent defiance of nature. Nothing about their environment suggests such flawless spheres could occur naturally. The tribes who live nearby speak of them with reverence, claiming they were created by the forest spirits to mark sacred ground. Whether tools, art, or remnants of an unknown culture, these spheres hint at a lost chapter of Amazonian history. And as we look deeper into the layers of time, we uncover another forgotten story, one buried beneath the waters of the Amazon itself. Beneath the Amazon's murky waters, a lost civilization lies hidden, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Known as the Amazonian Atlantis, this ancient city is said to have been a thriving hub of advanced culture long before recorded history. Locals speak of strange stone formations visible when water levels drop, walls, roads, and structures too precise to be natural. Explorers have even claimed to find submerged carvings hinting at a forgotten people who built their lives beneath what is now one of the world's largest rivers. Scientists have discovered hints of massive settlements, now covered by silt and water. The Amazon basin wasn't always a rainforest, it was once drier and home to flourishing societies. Some believe these people had knowledge of the river's cycles, using it to their advantage until a catastrophic flood swallowed their cities whole. Could this lost Atlantis hold clues about humanity's past, or perhaps even our future? And while the waters may conceal this history, the jungle itself is no less enigmatic. As we move from underwater mysteries to towering giants, the Amazon continues to astound. Rising out of the dense foliage are figures that shouldn't exist. Enormous stone statues carved with a precision that defies explanation. These towering stone giants stand like sentinels, silently guarding the secrets of the jungle. Some are humanoid, with sharp angular features, while others resemble animals or mythical creatures. What makes them even more fascinating is their location. Some are found deep within the rainforest, far from any known ancient settlement, as if they were placed there deliberately. Who carved these monolithic figures? And how did they transport such heavy stones through the unforgiving jungle terrain? Theories range from long-lost Amazonian civilizations to extraterrestrial influences. Local tribes revere these giants, believing them to be spirits frozen in stone to protect the land. Recent studies suggest these statues might be thousands of years old, predating many other advanced societies. Their existence raises questions about the capabilities of ancient peoples and the stories they left behind. And while these giants loom silently, another mystery takes to the skies, one that leaves a trail of awe and fear. High above the Amazon in the storm-filled skies, legends speak of a creature so massive it darkens the heavens, the Thunderbird. Indigenous tribes describe it as a colossal bird with wings so wide they can block out the sun. Its arrival is said to bring thunder and lightning, shaking the earth with each powerful flap of its wings. But is the Thunderbird just a myth, or could it be something real? Over the years there have been startling reports. Travelers claim to have seen enormous shadows pass overhead, accompanied by deafening screeches. Some even describe finding feathers of impossible size, although no definitive proof has ever been collected. Could the Thunderbird be a remnant of prehistoric times, a living pterosaur hiding in the vastness of the jungle? Or perhaps it is a metaphor, representing nature's uncontrollable power in a place as untamed as the Amazon. Whatever the truth, the Thunderbird's legend persists, its mystery as vast as the skies it supposedly rules. From the towering stone sentinels to these winged legends, the Amazon keeps its secrets close. But not all its mysteries remain in the skies. Some cling to the very air itself. Next we descend into the suffocating shroud of the Amazonian death fog. In the depths of the Amazon, where the jungle thickens into an impenetrable maze, there's a phenomenon that has terrified explorers for generations: the death fog. This dense, suffocating mist seems to materialize out of nowhere, curling through the trees and reducing visibility to mere inches. Stories from locals claim that those who wander into this fog never return. Their whispers tell of strange figures seen in the haze, shadowy forms that vanish as quickly as they appear. Scientists suggest it could be the result of decaying organic matter releasing toxic gases, but no one knows for sure. The fog often appears in areas with high geothermal activity, adding an ominous warmth to its already oppressive presence. The eerie silence it brings only deepens the fear. It seems to smother all sound, leaving an unsettling stillness. What's hiding within the mist? Is it simply nature's wrath or something far more sinister? As the fog lifts, the jungle reveals its next mystery, one that slithers and spits fire. Among the Amazon's many wonders, few are as baffling and terrifying as the so-called fire-breathing lizards. First reported by startled explorers, these creatures are said to emit bursts of flame-like heat from their mouths, scaring off predators and mesmerizing prey. They are described as reptilian, with scales that shimmer in the sunlight and sharp claws perfect for climbing trees. The most startling feature? A glowing, ember-like throat that pulses when they breathe fire. Though no confirmed specimens have been captured, locals swear by their existence, recounting stories of strange burns found on plants and even animals in the area. Some scientists suggest that these lizards may produce a chemical reaction similar to the bombardier beetle, which sprays hot, caustic liquid to ward off threats. Could this be nature's way of creating its own tiny dragons? Whatever they are, their elusiveness only adds to their legend. But not all of the Amazon's predators strike with fire. Some have evolved to trap and consume in the most chilling ways imaginable. Step carefully in the Amazon, for the plants themselves might be watching. Tales of man-eating plants have circulated for centuries, and though they sound like pure fiction, the stories refuse to die. These plants are described as towering, with enormous leaves that snap shut like jaws and vines that writhe as though alive. Some explorers claim to have seen small animals snared by these botanical predators, drained of their fluids as the plants tighten their grip. Could such plants exist? While no confirmed man-eaters have been found, the Amazon is home to a variety of carnivorous flora, including massive pitcher plants and sticky sundews that trap insects. Perhaps the stories are exaggerations of these real-life marvels, or perhaps they're warnings of a hidden species yet to be discovered. In a place as vast and unexplored as the Amazon, who's to say what's possible? Even as you marvel at the jungle's beauty, remember, its secrets could be as dangerous as they are awe-inspiring. And as we leave the realm of predatory plants, the jungle offers yet another wonder, its bridges, not built by man, but grown by the trees themselves. Hidden deep within the Amazon jungle are bridges that defy logic. Living structures formed entirely from the roots of ancient trees. These natural marvels aren't built by human hands but are instead grown over generations. The indigenous tribes speak of their ancestors guiding the roots, weaving them into pathways that stretch across rivers and ravines. These bridges, some spanning over 100 feet, are not only functional but breathtakingly beautiful, draped in moss and teeming with life. But these aren't mere feats of engineering. Many believe the bridges hold a deeper significance, a spiritual connection between the jungle and its people. Some locals claim the trees themselves are sentient, their roots responding to the needs of those who protect the forest. The bridges have an eerie quality to them. As you walk across, it's almost as if they're alive, breathing, and watching. Could they be part of a symbiotic relationship between the forest and its inhabitants? Or do they hold secrets even older than the tribes who tend to them? As these living structures stretch into the shadows, another ancient mystery waits beneath the jungle canopy: artifacts forged in gold. Few discoveries in the Amazon are as mesmerizing or puzzling as the golden masks unearthed in its depths. These artifacts, crafted with astonishing detail, feature lifelike human faces and intricate designs that shimmer in the dim jungle light. Believed to be relics of an ancient civilization, the masks are thought to have been used in ceremonies to honor the gods or connect with the spirit world. But who created them? And how did they master the art of working with gold so long ago? Some archaeologists speculate these masks belonged to a lost Amazonian empire, one that rivaled the Incas in sophistication. However, the lack of written records only deepens the enigma. Legends from local tribes suggest these masks were not made by human hands, but gifted by celestial beings who descended from the stars. Could these golden artifacts be evidence of an advanced civilization, or something extraterrestrial? The haunting, unblinking faces of the masks seem to watch as if guarding a truth too great to comprehend. But while these gleaming relics inspire wonder, another artifact found nearby has left scientists utterly speechless. Imagine standing in the ruins of an ancient Amazonian city, the air heavy with humidity and history. You brush away layers of dirt to reveal something extraordinary, a skull, crafted entirely from crystal. Perfectly carved and eerily lifelike, these crystal skulls are among the most debated artifacts in history. Found scattered across the jungle, they defy explanation. How could ancient civilizations with no known advanced tools create such precise, flawless sculptures? Theories abound. Some believe the skulls are relics of an advanced Amazonian society whose knowledge was lost to time. Others suggest they are ceremonial objects imbued with spiritual energy to connect with other realms. And then there are the more outlandish theories, that the skulls are alien in origin, left behind as beacons or tools for communication. What's most unsettling is the energy people claim to feel in their presence. A strange vibration, as though the skulls themselves are alive. Whether symbols of forgotten power or remnants of something not of this earth, they leave us with more questions than answers. And as we turn from their crystalline mystery, the jungle reveals yet another shining secret, the sun disks of the Amazon. Deep within the heart of the Amazon, hidden in ancient ruins and sacred burial sites, lie the mysterious sun disks, perfectly crafted gold artifacts that radiate an air of divine significance. These disks, some as large as a dinner plate, feature intricate carvings of celestial patterns, animals, and what appear to be maps of the stars. They shimmer in the faintest light, almost as if they hold the power of the sun itself. But what were they used for? Were they ceremonial objects, offerings to the gods, or tools for understanding the heavens? Local legends describe the sun disks as gifts from the sky spirits, symbols of balance and harmony between the jungle and the cosmos. Some researchers believe these artifacts were used as ancient calendars or astronomical tools, precisely aligned with the solstices and equinoxes. Others argue they could have been used in rituals, channeling energy from the sun. What's most intriguing is the sheer perfection of their design, too advanced for the tools supposedly available at the time. How could such intricate craftsmanship emerge from an era we assume to be primitive? The sun disks leave us wondering if the ancients possessed knowledge we have yet to rediscover. As we ponder their celestial beauty, the discovery of inexplicable tools made of bronze shakes the foundations of our understanding even further. That's about it. Write in the comments which find seemed the most unusual to you. For more useful information, watch other videos.